Hi, everybody. My name is River Delcom, and welcome to the 42nd episode of Speaking with Autism. Hope you guys had a great school week that has been going on. If you all started last week, so mine did too, but if you started this week, today's Wednesday, I hope you have 2 days left, and Friday will come soon, and you guys are going to have a great weekend. So, I saw this video, and on Instagram while ago, and I thought I want to talk about it because it just can relate to everybody, especially on the spectrum of autism, ADHD, disability on the disability spectrum. So it's about loneliness. We all know what loneliness is. It's a very horrible place to be a part of, and I'm still on the coop of that, and I so far doing my best to be better. But we all felt that kind of loneliness to find who we need to be friends with. And so CDC has announced that 42% of adults 18 to about 36 years old have felt loneliness on the spectrum of autism. And I'm one of those people of 24 years old who will be 25 in October have felt very lonely. And so you're maybe thinking that I'm 24 years old, but there are others who are 18 or and older than me, or anybody. And why are you still lonely? Well, society wants us to be a specific normal, or how we talk, how we act, how we be, and more importantly, how we dress, or the music that we look or listen to. And we have that kind of feeling of where, you know, there's the it group, and then there's the them group. That's how I grew up with the it group. Like, for example, when I was in middle and high school, I tried to be part of the it group, which is the football players, the athletic people, and I was like a choir person in middle school, but I still hanged out or chilled out mostly with the athletic guys. Any athletic, and also cheerleaders, drill team, all that stuff. Even though some of them were in my choir group, I still felt drifted away, putting aside of the fact of one person being pushed and just being ousted by somewhere else. And that all continued till high school, where at some point I was still part of the it group, well, trying to be part of the it group, until I had a talk with my family about trying to find a separate way of finding your own path of friends, instead of just trying to force your way into this group. All of a sudden, then you realize, oh my gosh, have I found this? Have I been being part of this group? But you felt out. But then you felt something odd and very different. It was like, okay, I tried to be in this group, but I didn't fit in, or some of y'all didn't fit in. It's called a misfits. I was a misfit. There's a lot of people, and I'm not saying all, but there were some who were misfits, and I was one of them. And more than ever, I felt more lonely and more pushed away than I thought after college, which I knew at some point after graduating high school, it's gonna be hard to try to find a new connection with friends, because you're in the world, and the world's not nice. It is cruel, it's mean, and I've said that multiple times because that's the reality of being in the world. You're going to deal with people that you're not going to like with. and you're gonna have to deal with it a lot. And I've been doing that, and still do to this day. And more importantly, an ABC News also explained why people feel more lonely, because especially on the autism spectrum, because I talk differently, I do things differently, we do things differently from everybody else, and you're all be thinking, well, we all do different things that everybody else does, but well, do you talk differently? Do you speak differently? Do you do things like you write? Do you think, like, example, you do math? Do you do math a certain way that anybody else does? If you do, then okay. But if you don't, that's all right. You do things a different way from somebody else would certainly do. And that's what I do. I make videos like this in a certain way. I also do schoolwork in a certain way, where right now I just finished doing my essay, but I'm going to fully finish it tomorrow so I can see my tutor. See? I do schoolwork and do a whole lot of things in a different way than everybody else. If I talk mostly like anime, superheroes, Disney, pro wrestling, sports, any of that stuff, and if I see a certain group who does that kind of stuff, that's all we just talk about. And that's another thing, is that we talk things that they like, but we like. But if they're not interested in it, then you need to know, okay, what do they like? And you try to balance that of what you like, but what do they like? Because we try to figure out what do certain people like that they enjoy, or what they do on their free time. We're always busy a lot. There are some who are focusing more on school, just like me, until I go to SFA, which is the next plan, and then find a career path. So I always ask, are y'all free to like hang out or do anything? I always ask for numbers, because just get off of social media and just talk in person. Now, I always say follow me on social media, but here's the thing: social media brings out the worst of all of us, especially you see stuff on YouTube where these guys will just do some stupid content just for views, and this is what I do not do on my video, because I want to educate everyone, especially the new and upcoming viewers, of being on the spectrum of autism or ADHD and all that important stuff, to figure out, how do we be better? How do we know ourselves? So I'm basically trying to be like somewhat of a therapist for someone who had been through this path. And lastly, and I think the reason that we all feel lonely, especially how autistic people feel lonely, more than just how we speak, how we do different things differently, is because the media shows the wrong sides of autism, especially when we're trying to figure out, how does this work, but what do we expect to do better? And that also goes with everybody's favorite autism charity group, Autism Speaks. And I know what you guys are thinking. I don't like Autism Speaks, because it's just the charity event doesn't do anything that autism represents. So I want you to find like a charitable event of autism that represents autism in a positive light, because we want to make sure that autism gets represented in a positive light for everybody else. We are loved no matter what happens. Don't say that you aren't loved because everyone tells you that. Just remember that you are here for a reason, and I'm here for a reason, and we will do our best to do better in ourselves. Thank you guys so much for coming to today's video. Please comment, please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and enjoy the week of school. If you started last week, just like me, you're doing great. And if you started this week, do your best and enjoy the fall semester and have a great Labor Day weekend. My name is River Delcom, and I speak autism. Have a great Labor Day weekend.